Hey Swati, thank you so much for taking out time for this review and a very good evening. So before I shoot my questions, it would be great if you could just go ahead and give all of us a basic introduction about yourself and about the course and the university you have received an admit from.
Sure. Thanks, Anshul, for that. So, hi, I'm Swati. I had a work experience of 5 years in consulting, and I was looking for Masters in Engineering Management program in US. I applied to 5 different schools. Maybe I can name them. First one was Dartmouth, Duke, Northwestern, Purdue, and Northeastern. Till now, I've received admits from 4 of them. That's
Right.
Northwestern, Purdue, Duke, actually 3 of them, sorry.
All right.
So actually four of them. So Northwestern, Purdue, Duke, and New York University. I
Right.
got a reject from Dartmouth, but I'm still awaiting the results from Northeastern University and hoping to get there as well. But yeah, let's see what the results come up. So yeah, more or less that's about me.
Absolutely. Let's hope for the best. I hope you get into the other one as well. That is still pending. And
Yes.
that's actually very great because you have 4 acceptance from these universities that are extremely difficult to get into. They're upper competitive in general. So many congratulations for cracking them. They're top-notch schools, and I know how much determination it would have required to be able to reach to that, of course, right? So I'm pretty grateful that you chose MiM-Essay to help you out through that journey. So my very first question is regarding your experience that you had working with us.
So to start with, I think MIM really helped me to put a very strong base.
Right.
Like I was very much worried on where to start. Like I didn't have a starting point first. I knew which course I wanted to go, but I was never sure on how to get started with the process. I knew that these are the requirements that's needed for an application. But how to build that, like how to show an impact actually, like what actually matters to put it in the SOP. So MIM really helped me with putting up a strong base, especially I think the initial analysis that MIM has, that is like tremendous, and that's like super, like that was really helpful for me at least, where I got to know what are my weak points, what are my strengths, what I can show up in the SOPs, and where I can play around actually.
Right.
So that was really helpful, and even I think there was an IELTS classes which frequently workshop which used to be getting conducted every
week, couple of times in a week.
Couple of times, and that was also really helpful. Though I didn't give IELTS, but I gave TOEFL. But again, since the concept was more or less same, it really helped me secure a good score in TOEFL as well. So yeah, I think. For me, MIM really helped to put a very strong base, identify my strengths and weaknesses, and to figure out what actually needs to be put into the SOP. So yeah, I would recommend like people to go with MIM at least if you're planning to secure a seat in a top-notch university. MIM really helps.
All right, that's really great. And you mentioned about the importance that a brainstorming call basically holds for deciding where you stand right now and your profile looks like and how you should be proceeding further with it. And there the consultant comes into picture. They basically guide you through that, of course. So my next question would be regarding your consultant specifically. How exactly did they added value to your application?
Okay, so for that, actually, I started having a brainstorming call with my consultant, and there was, I think, a lot of impact was created, and I got to know how to structure things.
Absolutely.
Like what all actually is needed in an SOP or an LOR maybe.
Right.
So structure was the very key aspect which my consultant helped me, and even I think I poked a lot to my consultant, like how to more work on the SOP, what all needs to be put into the SOP. I was continuously poking my consultant.
Right.
So there's where also I think story building is something again where my consultant helped me a lot. What all needs to be put in and what should be the flow in the SOP, because I think for an SOP a story is really important, and to convince the reader is again very critical for an SOP aspect. So there's where my consultant pretty much helped me a lot. And even I remember a case where I was stuck with my Duke application. I
Right.
didn't knew what to mention in that question.
Of course.
For me, the question was maybe a very tricky one. But I had a brainstorming call with my consultant, and she gave me some ideas on what to search on Google, because I was searching a lot of things and there were a lot of information going in my head. But to have a very specific point on what needs to be searched and what needs to be mentioned, that's where my consultant really played a key role. Yeah, and she helped me a lot in that aspect. So yeah, pretty much that covered.
Okay, so like you mentioned about from the brainstorming session to your consultant and what key roles they have actually played when it comes to securing an admission to those universities that you had, with of course the essay calls, the editing then came into the picture. So my next question is regarding these services only. If I give you just an option that you need to go ahead and choose just one service, one out of all of them that were being offered to you, that you think you like the most, that you think were most useful or fruitful, so which one would that be?
I would say the brainstorming call, the profile evaluation call. I have multiple options to choose here. One was the brainstorming call, and the other was the profile evaluation. Even the profile evaluation call pretty much really helped me a lot. I got to know the areas where I am lacking currently as compared to the other applicants. So these two, and even the editing services was pretty much helpful for me. I did see, like for some of the cases I was stuck. For me, it was a very simple layman language that I was putting my SOP with. But when it came back to me after the edits from MIM, it was like more of a presentable format which can be shared in the SOPs for the admissions. So yeah, these are the three aspects which I really liked about MIM during the process.
All right, very well said. So my final question is regarding your inputs that you think you have at this moment, or if I ask you to go ahead and give advice to the people out there who are pretty much similar to your position that you were maybe a year back or something, where they have in their mind that, yeah, I do want to go ahead and do my master's from abroad, but they are a bit of confused. So what advice do you have for them, and would you like to go ahead and suggest them to try a MiM-Essay?
Yep. So, okay, I'll probably start here with people who want to go for an MS program. The first thing that they need to focus in on which country they want to go. They need to be very, very sure. And again, the program, very specific, and even the program they actually want to go, because then only I think anyone in our surrounding can help us, like this is your weak points or strengths. They can help us analyze those. But I think the first aspect should be that identify which course you're going in and maybe work towards that, because every course is very specific and every course has different requirements. So we need to work on those specific goals. And I think taking the GRE, TOEFL a bit earlier would actually pretty much help, because I remember my situation. I took it around like August, which I thought it's pretty late. Maybe if we take it a bit earlier, we'll have more time on working on the SOPs, LORs, and all the other application requirements. So taking your GRE, TOEFL earlier, that will really help. And coming back to how MIM can help us, I think MIM pretty much, if you start early with MIM, it's the best case. So I started pretty much early in around like March only. I was very sure about the course which I want to go in, and if you start early, you'll probably have a lot of time to brainstorm, because this is kind of a process which needs to be improved every time. Because what I think is, when you sit writing your SOP, right, in the first go, you might not get every idea which you have done in your past. It's a continuous process which MIM and both the applicant needs to work on. So yeah, if you start early, it'll be really helpful. And I think MIM can play a really good role in at least brainstorming, identifying your strengths and weaknesses, and even helping you build a right SOP for your application. Because as I said, right, every curriculum or every course is different, so the SOP should be based on that. And I think MIM really helps in that aspect as well. It needs to be very course specific, so that you are aligned with that process and the admission office knows that you have these competencies and you are the right fit for this program. Because sometimes what happens is people are not the right fit, and that's why they get rejected. So having the right details in your SOP really matters. So yeah, MIM can really help in that aspect, and yeah, pretty much that.
All right, thank you so much for taking out time and doing this for me. I'm pretty sure it's going to be extremely helpful for the people out there who are kind of stuck and who need additional help, who are looking forward to the advices. So yeah, thank you and congratulations once again. I'm super proud of you for getting admitted into those top universities, and not just 1, 2, 4, and looking forward to this 5th one as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, Anju. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.